This is the continuing saga of my journey to whole identity, part 3. Hi, I'm Anna. Welcome to Bored, Lazy, and Retired. So we're going to fast forward again, now to 2018. It was, well, actually probably 2017. 2017. So I was 51. And I think I finally decided maybe I want some answers. I did a DNA test with Ancestry. It's got the largest database, so that's the one I went with. I didn't really want to know anything about the possible health stuff at that point. I already had my own health problems, and they supposedly weren't genetic, so it didn't matter. I started by I just was curious. I wanted my ethnicity, really. That's what I wanted. Because I was told that my biological father was Italian. I am a redhead who can tan. I do burn, but I can tan. And so I thought, well, maybe there's a logical thing. I have a little bit of a yellow undertone to my skin, and, But I wanted to see, well, how much Italian? Yeah. Surprise! Not Italian. But I didn't really, I looked in my DNA matches. I didn't find anybody with the surname that I was given of my biological father. But at this point, my biological mother had passed away. And so we weren't going to get any more answers from her. I'm not even going to go into why she passed. But we asked, or I asked, my aunts, her sisters, if they had any information, if they knew anything about him. My biological mother was the oldest sister, so all the others were younger. Her youngest sister, who I look most like, is really only about 10 years older than me. So she really she would not have known anything about my biological father. So, but the next sister, younger, is also kind of hard to get a hold of. I've never actually met her. She is a nun. Yep. I have a nun as an aunt. And I've never met her. My biological sister has. My niece has met her, but I have never met her. And so it's been over 30 years. I've still not met her. Actually, there's still others I haven't met either, but which I guess is kind of bad. I'd really like to meet them, but I am lazy. So the ethnicity doesn't help. The DNA matches didn't help. And I just kind of left it at that for, I think, almost a year. I found all the matches that were my biological mother's. It was pretty easy to do because I knew the name. I'm kind of I'm the family genealogist, so I love genealogy. I've been doing, genealogy in my adopted family for years. I took a course in college. But and I love doing it. It's so fascinating to me. I'm a history buff, and what's better than in history than your own personal history? So, that was, I just like doing it. And so I did, figure out, the matches that were related to me by my mother, biological mother. And I kind of left it at that for a while. I didn't really look into, well, who are these other people then? Who are they? There weren't any super close matches, so, it wasn't like, boom, there's your dad, or boom, there's another sibling. So I did leave it for about a year. And then I thought, I'd really kind of like to know. I'm getting older. I'm probably running out of time. I'm already in my 50s. My biological mother is already now passed, and I thought, well, I might already be too late, but it would be kind of cool if maybe I have more siblings. So I get books. At this point, you may have heard of genetic genealogy. And I knew there were possibilities that perhaps even with not so close matches, you could still figure it out. There are groups on Facebook who help people for free. And I had even, I applied for the show Long Lost Family. I got a little ways, but I didn't get accepted. So I was like, well, I'll just keep looking. And I decided to keep looking. So I got some books on how to figure out your DNA matches, basically telling you how to do genetic genealogy, basically. And I read, but I didn't read the whole thing, so that, created some problems. But I think, based on those matches, I think I figured it out. Yeah, I think I figured it out. And I do a little Facebook sleuthing. There's quite a few places on Facebook that help. And I discovered, although this person that I suspected to be my father was deceased, I found an obituary through Facebook's help. And I then searched for those people on Facebook. And I sent them a pretty forward message in their messenger. And although there were a lot of them, there were a lot of kids. 11 kids this guy had. And I thought, wow, I have a lot of siblings. That is crazy. And I got contacted back by a few of them. And so we started conversing. I said, listen, we may be siblings, but we may be cousins. But the only way for us to know is if one of you do a DNA test. And so I got a volunteer, the youngest. And I start talking to several of these people. I'm definitely not going to name names, but I start talking to them and really getting to know them. I really, really like these people. They're pretty cool. And I even am, I'm living in Utah at this point, so I decide, well, I travel to California to visit family, and I discover that one of these potential siblings or cousin lives very near where one of my brothers used to live in Northern California. And in fact, I'll tell you what a crazy small world this is. My brother, cousin, whatever he is, we don't know yet. He has friends who bought my brother's house in Northern California before they moved to even further Northern California. But my newfound, possibly brother, possibly cousin, friend, their friend, lives in my brother's old house. Crazy small world. And so I'm going to Northern California to visit my family for, can't remember if this is still around the 4th of July. It's usually when we went. But then we changed, so it could have been earlier than that. I don't remember. I could look it up, but we're waiting for a DNA test to get to my to get to the volunteer, and we're still going to have to wait for results. My DNA test results didn't come in for 8 weeks, so we thought, well, we still got 2 months. But I arranged to meet this person, and it was really cool. He's a really cool dude. He restores old cars. I mean, really outright restores old cars. Well, he's a man after my adopted dad's own heart. My dad loved restoring old pickup trucks. And this guy's very artistic. He was just really fun. He's a bit older than me, but I just loved him and his wife. They were really awesome. And I was talking to his little sister, the youngest of the family. She's younger than me. On the phone all the time. We were really getting to know each other. We felt like sisters. We really already felt like sisters. And I was also conversing a lot with another of her brothers. That's the best way to describe it, since cousin, brother, we don't know. But I'm, had a great time visiting. I took a day away from my adopted family and spent it visiting with him. Well, not a whole day, but a long time. And I went back to my hotel room. I don't stay with family. It's just much easier on my mental peace of mind and give me my alone time for me to stay in a hotel. I was there by myself. My husband stayed back in Utah. And by this point I'm married. I guess I forgot to say that, but I'm talking on the phone with my little sister, his little sister, and she tells me I'm waiting to go up to my brother's for dinner, and she tells me, oh, you know what else? We're related to a really famous athlete. I thought, what? What? A famous athlete? Who? And she told me his name. I didn't think much about it. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm not going to explain what sport, because then you would know, and I want to protect the family's privacy. But, or you could look it up anyway, if you didn't know. So I went up to my brother's for dinner, and I asked my brother, I said, have you ever heard of And he goes, yeah, of course. Really? It's like, well, I was a little kid, so when this guy was a famous athlete, I was just little. And so it's like, oh, that's really cool. So, fast forward to getting the test results. The results were in. Cousins, actually, to be more precise, first cousins once removed. And I'm not going to explain that. You can look it up. I was so confident I had it figured out. But I did overlook things. And I was pretty depressed. I wanted them to be my siblings. I liked them so much. I really did. I wanted them to be my siblings. But they are my cousins. And that was really cool too. And I'm shaking the table again. Sorry. I was really depressed about the outcome because I was so sure. I was so confident that I had figured it out. But I didn't do enough research. I didn't see the missing link, even though I knew it was there. I had asked the brother I met with, do you know who these people are? He knew these people, but this whole group over here, he didn't know who they were. And that should have been my clue. So, if you like and subscribe, and join me next time for the continuing story. See ya.